Hi, I'm Roger Love, the voice coach for celebrities like Bradley Cooper, Reese Witherspoon, and Selena Gomez, and I want you to be my next student. My new podcast, Love Your Voice, is going to teach you how to find your best voice and then use it to improve every communication you have, from your business dealings to your love life. Let me help you find and love your voice and then use it to change your life. So download my podcast, Love Your Voice, and let's get started.
Hey, what's going on? It's that time. It's that month. It's the spookiest month of the year, right? It's October. This is a brand new Murder Monday. And it's a story about someone noticing the small detail that someone else noticed. And if you listen to this show every week on the radio, or you subscribe to the podcast, as I say both ways, then I appreciate you doing so. And following along, and even following it on Instagram and the Facebook fan page, which is just Murder Monday Podcast. So again, thanks for listening and enjoy this brand new Murder Monday. Some people eat and drink to nourish their bodies. Then there's those that investigate each and every bite, recognizing the unique tastes. They enjoy the overall meal as much as anyone, but every detail from every bite and sip is broken down. They notice the flavors, the hint of honey, an oak taste. They notice the little things, the small details that make the difference. This was the case for Ed and Julie Post of New Orleans. They met in college and were married, both successful real estate agents in New Orleans. In June of 1986, Julie and Ed headed to St. Louis for the Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate Service Board meeting, where Ed was a member. He was actually wrapping up his 3-year term, so that evening, he thanked both the members, his wife Julie, and his family, of course, for their support. Life was good for the Post family. The couple had a beautiful home and family. They had lavish tastes. They are active in the gourmet food and wine industry and different clubs in and around New Orleans. Ed owned one of the largest private wine collections in New Orleans, which he eventually sold for more than $30,000. Ed was someone that noticed the details. When he would sip on gumbo, he recognized that the chef used 3 different types of peppers because it produced a layered heat, he said. On that June evening in 1986, after enjoying dinner and drinks with members of the board, it was near midnight. Ed and Julie retreated to their room. The next morning, Ed was up early for a jog, but not before drawing a bath for his wife. He took the elevator down to the lobby, thanking the concierge for a recommendation he gave his wife the day before, then introduced himself to the doorman before going out for a morning jog. It was a Tuesday morning. Ed left the Omni Hotel where they were staying and headed towards the Mississippi River, which was about half a mile away. He returned about 30 minutes later, walked the street in front of the hotel to cool down, said hello to the doorman once again as he walked into the lobby, stepped into the elevator, and rode up to his room on the 4th floor. Then, at 7:43 a.m., a telephone operator at the hotel received a call from Ed. He had found his wife face down in the bathtub. She was barely breathing. A man and a female security guard arrived upstairs a few minutes later, joining Ed in his attempt to resuscitate his wife. Ed was doing CPR, but it wasn't enough. Julie Post died at the hospital a few hours later. It appeared that Julie had attempted to get out of the bathtub, slipped when grabbing the towel ring, which ripped off the wall, hit her head, and eventually died. In the eyes of Ed, the police, and the coroner, this was an accident. Well, it was an accident to everyone except for the Missouri District Attorney. Because when she read about this accident, she noticed something. What did she notice? And why did she think it was murder? Find out next on Murder Monday. Ed and Julie Post are up from New Orleans for a board meeting in St. Louis in June of 1986. Ed Post was a real estate executive from New Orleans who came to St. Louis with his wife, Julie. Post went jogging that morning, and when he came back, he found his wife dead in the bathtub. Emergency medical technicians and police reported to the scene. It seemed as if she must have slipped as she was getting out of the tub and grabbed for the towel ring, which is when it came off the wall. Julie fell backwards, hit her head on the tub, and lost consciousness. Investigators at first thought it was strange, but they couldn't find any clues that this was actually a murder. But then a prosecutor from the Missouri Attorney General's office noticed something. Something others had missed. Ed and Julie Post had been married for 20 years, and the Attorney General said, "Nobody who's been married for 20 years draws his wife's bath." And just how weak was that bathroom's shower ring that it couldn't support the weight of a 120-ish pound woman? Which is when suspicion turned to Julie's husband, Ed. And Ed might have gotten away with it, but his greed turned reckless. After the accident, Ed immediately called his lawyer brother to the scene where they photographed evidence of the alleged homicidal towel ring. They were getting ready for a lawsuit against the hotel. Ed had also purchased a $300,000 life insurance policy on Julie less than a month before her death. Investigators tested the towel ring in the shower and determined that it would have taken a person weighing 480 pounds or a person weighing 120 pounds who had descended from 64 feet to pull the towel ring directly off the wall in the way that it was found at the murder scene. Unless it was someone standing outside the tub with a foot against the side of the wall, violently and deliberately wrenching the towel ring from its mount on the tile wall. Police decided, well, we must have missed something on Julie Post's body, so they exhumed it, which is when the coroner found marks that suggested that someone had held her head down in the water. And another thing, Ed Post said hi to the concierge and to the doorman. Even the nicest people don't introduce themselves to the doorman of the hotel by first and last name and tell them where they're going. Ed was a man who cared about details, but those details are what eventually did him in. See, he was trying to create an alibi which eventually led to his arrest. It took multiple years and multiple overturned convictions before Ed Post actually admitted to killing his wife. He served 25 years for the murder, eventually being released at the age of 69 in the year 2014.